My name is Hanyo Sachiusu. I'm in my second year middle school. I've been very unlucky ever since I was born. For several generations, our family has run this company. It's a pretty well-known company in our local area. My father is the current CEO, making him the fourth generation. My mother was supporting him by taking care of HR, finances, and my father's schedule. A pretty broad range of things. Ever since I was little, my father often said,
"The heir to my business must be a boy."
Unfortunately for him, I was the only child. On top of that, it was difficult for my mother to conceive, and they had a lot of trouble getting pregnant with me. When I was younger, I remember my father saying to my mother,
"Next time you better give birth to a son. You're worthless otherwise."
He repeated that almost every day for a while. My mother endured his harassment and helped at the company, which wasn't exactly going well at the time, without any pay. Because I had been born a girl, my father didn't help with raising me at all, and my mother made sure to make up for it with lots of love and care. Even now, I can't imagine how much pressure she must have experienced, but she was already having trouble with infertility, so there was no way she could get pregnant under such conditions. When I became 10, my father lost his patience and said something unbelievable to my mother.
"That's it. I won't expect anything from you. You're useless. If you can't have children, then work harder at the company. I'll go find another woman to have my son."
No! Please don't do that! We have audio! Ow!
She's a girl. It doesn't make any difference if she's here or not. But raising her costs money, so if anything, it would be better if she weren't here at all.
Mom!
Hanyo, I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
It's not your fault, Mom! After that, my father really did go get a mistress, and was apparently trying to have a child with her, but he was getting old himself. And even if he had the title of CEO, he was just a big fish in a small pond. He was an old man that only looked important. Of course, there weren't any women who seriously wanted to have his child. And after a few years, he still didn't have a male heir. I thought that he would finally give up, but he really was set on having a son. It happened when I was in my first year of middle school. My father almost never messaged us, except when he had something he wanted done. The contents of his rare and oddly happy message to my mother shocked us.
"Hey, you better celebrate. My little brother had a son."
Oh, congratulations! We have to think of a present for them.
"There's no need.
Huh?
I've decided to take him in.
What? What do you mean?
I'm going to adopt him, and he's going to be my heir."
You can't be serious! What will they say?
I've already spoken with him. They'll give him to me for $35K. It's cheap in comparison to the money I wasted on your fertility treatment.
I can't believe you'd do something like that! How does his wife feel about it?
I heard she was complaining, but that's their problem, not mine. If my brother says it's fine, then it's fine.
That's way too selfish! How can you separate them without his mother's consent?
Shut up! It's your fault for being so useless. Don't complain. You're the one that couldn't give me a son.
I couldn't believe it, but my father really did bring his own brother's son, in other words, his own nephew, to our home.
You take care of him. From now on, you're his mother.
How could you?
His name is Hajime. He's going to stand at the top, so only I'm worthy of naming him.
You even saw the right to name him?
He's my son. Of course I named him.
You're horrible!
Just then, we heard the front door open.
Give me back my son.
Isn't that his mother?
Don't be so pathetic. Be good and get in the car.
I didn't give birth to him just to give him away.
It was my uncle and his wife. It hadn't been long since she had given birth, so it looked like it was tough for her to even stand. She was doubled over by the front door and stretched her arm out as she cried, "Give him back," over and over. Dad, this is wrong! The baby should be with his mother! Give him back!
Shut up, you waste of space! I already paid my brother. He can't complain.
Money? What do you mean?
Oh, that's... you know.
You sold our son for pocket money? How could you?
Shut up! You're just a woman! Don't answer back to your husband!
Neither of them gave in, but halfway through my uncle's wife's blood pressure increased and she fainted. While I was calling for an ambulance, my uncle had run off, leaving his wife lying on the ground. My mother and I went with her to the hospital. She had woken up soon after, but once she realized that her son wasn't with her, she began to cry. There was no way to understand how sad she must have felt. After that, my mother took care of the baby, but argued with my father many times. We tried planning ways to sneak her son back to her, but my father managed to find out and stop us every single time. In the end, he said,
If you keep on trying to defy me, I'll make sure that woman never sees her son again.
and threatened us. My father was emotionally unstable, so we didn't know what he might do. All we could do was hope that this baby would grow up into a good, healthy boy and treat him as our own family. Meanwhile, my uncle and his wife had divorced, and my uncle, who'd be going from job to job, used this as a chance to
Hey, big bro. Why don't you hire me?
make his way into my father's company. Like that, an employee that doesn't work was born. Using the divorce as an excuse, my father and my uncle made it so that she couldn't see her own son anymore. They were clearly doing it for the sake of making her suffer. I felt so sorry for her, so when I became a high schooler and got my own phone, I would send her pictures of her son whenever I could. Akane, how are you? I have a good picture for you today.
Thank you, Hana. He's grown so much.
Recently, he's enjoying puzzles.
Really? If only I could buy him something.
I'm sorry, but this is all I can do.
No, it's not your fault. It's thanks to you and your mother that he's grown up so healthy and happy.
My mom's doing her best every day to make sure he doesn't learn anything from my dad. Hajime's a really fast learner after all.
Thank you. I'll work hard with the hope that one day he'll come to meet me once he's independent. My work's going pretty well at the moment.
That's amazing! It was a business in baby food, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit lonely to be making products that I wanted my own son to eat, but I just have to do what I can.
I'm supporting you. Don't give up.
Thank you. Tell your mother I said thank you too.
Of course. Then 3 more years passed, watching over Hajime grow up. I was in my 3rd year of university, and Hajime was in his 3rd year of elementary school. Thanks to my mom's hard work, he wasn't influenced by my father's prejudice and discrimination, and had grown up to a good boy. However, my father didn't seem to like that.
Get out!
Huh?
The both of you! Get out of my house, you freeloaders!
What are you saying all of a sudden?
I only need Hajime in this house. I don't need a useless old woman and a daughter that costs money. You're both parasites. From now on, I'll be teaching Hajime how to become a great CEO. You're both in the way of that.
Are you planning to turn him into you?
That's right. That's why I adopted him.
We won't allow it!
Are you going to defy me? If you don't care what happens to each other, then go ahead. You'll want to leave this house sooner or later.
Since then, my father's behavior towards us was horrible. He mixed things into our dinner, which made us sick, and set thugs on us on our way home from work and university. We were afraid, but even so, we couldn't leave Hajime behind, so we endured it all. Then, Hajime, who had witnessed my father's treatment of us, said,
Mom? Hanayo? Run away!
We can't leave you behind!
Let's run away together! But Hajime only shook his head.
If I go with you, we don't know what Dad might do. I'll be okay, so you should run away. But tell my real mom that I'll go see her when I grow up.
We were at our limits, so we left home, with Hajime encouraging us to leave. We went straight to Akane's place.
I'm sorry. I was supposed to protect him. Don't say that. It was my fault for letting my husband get away with what he did.
I wonder if Hajime's okay.
He'll be okay. Even if we're apart, he's my son.
My mother and I rented out a cheap apartment, and my mom started working with Akane in her growing company full-time. I worked hard in my job hunting and found a good company in the neighborhood. Meanwhile, it seems that my father and my uncle were working hard to brainwash Hajime. We were worried, so we tried all sorts of methods to try and see how he was doing, but it was no good. We could only hope and pray that he was doing well. Just like that, the years had passed, and I'd become 31. Hajime should be in university now. I was imagining what my brother must be like, all grown up when...
Hana, get your mom and come to my place.
What?
Hurry!
We rushed over to Akane's house,
Long time no see, Mom. Hanayo?
and waiting for us was the person we had waited so long to see, Hajime!
I managed to sneak away and come see you.
You've grown so much.
I'm sorry I made you worry so much.
It's not your fault.
I'm sorry we left you behind.
It's okay. I grew up really spoiled, though. It was enough to make me feel sick.
Let's live together.
Sorry, Mama. I can't do that yet.
Why?
Mom was handling the finance and stuff at Dad's company. And ever since she left, Dad's been pretty crazy. All the employees are being overworked.
I can't believe it.
So I want your help, Mama, because you're a pro at this stuff. I'm doing finance in university, but I can't uncover what he's doing by myself. Mama, can you help me?
Akane listened to Hajime's words and stopped the tears she had been crying since Hajime had come back.
All right, leave it to me.
She began lecturing Hajime on what she knew straight away.
If the situation's like that, then they might have another ledger. Don't be deceived by the small numbers. And look on to the suspicious parts.
Yes, ma'am.
Hajime returned to my father's company like nothing had happened and began to search for any illegal activity. He's going to be the next CEO, so he had no problem looking at the documents he wanted. Day in and day out, he pretended to be studying accounting while searching. 1 month later,
Get your revenge on those two idiots.
Yeah! I have something I want to say. What is it, Hajime? What's up? I have proof here that you've both been involved in illegal activity over the past few years. What? What are you talking about? After kicking Mom out, accounting didn't have enough staff, so you thought it was the best chance to do what you liked, didn't you? Hajime, what's wrong? I was planning to tell you about that. Come back home, right now! I thought you were working hard or something. Is this what that was? Who told you to do it? I did it of my own free will. But the one that told me how was...
me.
Akane!
Good to see you, you lowlife.
Did you brainwash him?
No! He's trying to save the company from the two of you!
You're involved too?
I raised him. Of course I'm involved.
No matter what you taught him, Hajime wasn't influenced by either of you. That was because Akane and Mom both loved him and raised him properly.
How dare you do something like that? That's my line. For the sake of the employees that are working in this company, I ask that you leave. If we leave, then that's it for this company. Are you planning to make all 50 employees lose their jobs?
Oh, don't worry about that. After you've been arrested, I'll take care of the company for a while. I'll fix it up in no time. Don't underestimate me. I have an annual turnover of 7 million.
Wait, Akane, we get it. We were married once, so I know how good you are at business. Let's work together to make this company greater. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll give my ex-wife her old position.
Hajime had been watching quietly for some time, and as soon as the two men had started begging, something inside him snapped.
Stop it! It's enough that you dragged me around with your selfish antics! I won't let you use everyone else for your own profit! I'm going to call the police, so prepare yourselves! Stop it! Are you really going to throw your dad away? I don't remember either of you being my dad!
Hajime took the mountain of evidence to the police and reported their actions. The officer he reported to was surprised by the evidence, and my father and uncle were soon arrested. It seems that there were many calculations that didn't add up, and they had both been pocketing the company's money. They'd been using the money on fine dining, alcohol, and women, and had been living in luxury. After the two top executives had been arrested, our family's company was on the brink of collapse for some time. But Akane did as she promised, and made several changes to the company in order to reduce unnecessary expenses and correct irregularities. The company's numbers soon improved, and companies was reborn as a clean and comfortable environment where the employees were happy to work.
As expected of my mama.
Akane finally got a reward for her effort and her endurance, and fought back her tears as she said, "Of course," with a bit of embarrassment in her voice. After that, Akane and Hajime were finally able to live together as mother and son, and they looked very happy. My mom and I often get invited to have dinner together with them. It's become our monthly tradition to have dinner, just the four of us. I'm grateful for the peaceful days, and I hope that I can continue to live a humble lifestyle.